first, I'm sorry about the delay in this video today. I planned to come up here over Thanksgiving, and I only made it up here once and only got one of my classes done. So I'm really sorry that y'all had to wait until my conference period to get this video. So we're doing a review today. There's nothing to turn in today, but we're going to do a review. So the first thing is that I have a vocab list that I've attached. It was from the vocabulary assignment from before. It needs to be written on page 25. These words need to either be glued or written on page 25 of your journal. If you have a way to print it, it's probably easier because it is kind of a long list this time around. But it needs to be written on page 25 of your journal. Now, there should already be a list of words on page 25, so you are adding to this. Other announcements. On Friday is your journal test. It will be, I believe, from page 21 to page 30 of your journal. So be sure you have those journal pages ready, up to date. If not, at the top of Teams, there's a video. There's a link that says videos. If you click on that, it takes you to all my videos, so you can get caught up. All right. So page 25, journal test on Friday. So this week's a little bit different. My in-class students are still struggling with graphing and table and equations, and it's a huge thing that you need for high school math. So what we're doing is we are going back over it, and I'm giving them a chance to kind of raise their grade a little bit on some assignments that they've done, and I'll do the same thing for you. All right, so today we're going to do a review. We're on page 26 of our journal, and we're going to start with y-intercept. So in an equation, this is at the bottom. In equations, and sorry, I'm using the journal from the in-class, so you don't have a foldable, but you'll have it written down. Equations, so we have 7x plus 5. Our y-intercept is that plus 5. It's whatever is behind the plus sign. Now let's say there's not a plus sign, like the second example, and it's a minus. Then it's just that minus 4. That negative 4 is my y-intercept. If there's nothing and it just says 5x, my y-intercept is 0 because I can add a plus 0 and it doesn't change its value. So it's always behind the plus. That is my y-intercept from equations. Y-intercept from a graph is wherever it crosses my y-axis. So we darkened our y-axis, and I believe y'all had to draw these. And it's wherever it crosses that y-axis. So here it crossed at 0. Here it crossed at 4. Here it crossed at -2. And here it crossed at +2. All right, so to find our y-intercept from our equation, it's going to be behind the plus. If there is a minus, then it's whatever the minus is. If there's nothing behind it, it's 0. On a graph, it's where it crosses the y-axis. This is page 26 of your journal. Page 27 of your journal is where we talked about the slope. The slope is going to be what's in front of that x, that coefficient. So 4x plus 2, slope is 4. 1/2 x minus 7, the slope is 1/2. -5x minus 3, the slope is -5. 2/3 x, the slope is 2/3. Now one example that's not on here that you also need is something like y equals x. Let's do x plus 2. My slope here is whatever's in front of that x. Well, it looks like there's nothing, but remember that there is an imaginary 1 there. And so my slope here would be 1. Okay, because saying 1x and x are the same exact thing. Okay, so that's finding slope from our equation. Also, this is on journal page 27. We have our positive and negative slopes. This has helped some students. If I write my name on this line, if my name is going up, it's positive. If my name is going down, it's negative. All right, if I'm finding slope from a graph, my first step is to find 2 points. It can be any 2 points. I usually pick 2 that are by each other. And I look at my rise 1, ran 1. So rise over run is a slope of 1. This one down here, I rose 1, 2, 3, 4, and I ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which simplifies to 2/3. So rows 4, ran through. Now both of these are positive because they were both going up. Versus the two that were next to it, this one's going down, so it's going to have a negative slope. So down 1, 2, 3, and ran 1, 2, 3, 4. This slope went down 1, so -1, ran 2, so -1/2. So to find the slope from equation, it's the number in front of my x, that coefficient. To find it on a graph, it's rise over run. Okay? So I've attached this sheet. It is not a grade. It's not to be turned in. So if you want to just listen and pay attention, you do not have to draw these graphs or anything like that. All right, so to find my slope, my first step is to find 2 points. So here's a point, here's a point. My second step is to do rise over run. So I can see that this graph is going down, so I already know my slope will be negative. So I rose, we can actually do it this way, 2, and ran 1. So -2 over 1 is just a -2. You could have also done it this direction, going down and over. My y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So darken or highlight that y-axis and see where it crossed. It crossed at the 5. So my equation, y equals mx plus b. My m is my slope, so I'm going to replace that with a -2x plus my b, which is 5. So I find my slope by finding 2 points, and finding the rise over the run. To find my y-intercept, I highlight my y-axis and circle my y. All right, here's another one for us to look at. Find 2 points. I can see my line is going down, so it is negative. And it went down 2. And ran 1. So again, I have a slope of -2. My y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. It's 5. So y equals my slope, which is -2x, plus my y-intercept, 5. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I want you to try number 3 by yourself. I'm going to zoom in on that graph. I want you to see if you can find the y-intercept and the slope. I'm going to zoom in as far as I can so you can actually see it. So remember to, hit the wrong button. So remember to find your slope, you're looking for 2 points, and then you're finding the rise over the run. To find the y-intercept, I'm looking where it crosses the y-axis. All right, so let's look at our slope. So, find 2 points. I can see this is a positive. It's going up. And it rose 1, 2, 3. So it rose 3. I'm going to just write on the graph since. And it ran 1. That way you don't have to zoom out. So my slope is 3. And where did it cross my y-axis? Down here at the 2. I'm going to zoom out now. My slope was 3. Y-intercept is 2, so y equals 3x plus 2. All right, let's go to number 4. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to zoom in on it and freeze it so you can look at this. One might be a little bit easier to see than the last one, just because it's spaced out a little bit better. Alright, so see if you can find the slope, rise over run, and see if you can find the y-intercept, where it crosses that y-axis, and then see if you can write the equation. Alrighty, so let's look at the slope. I'm going to shift it over just a little bit so I can write out to the side of it. So my slope, I'm going to pick 2 points. I can see that it's positive, so I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, run 1, so I have a slope of 3. My y-intercept is 2. My equation is y equals 3x plus 2, which if you notice is the same as the last one. So why do they look different? They shouldn't look too different, actually. The only reason they look different is because our grids are different. Alright, so I hope this helped you understand graphs and equations a little bit better. If you still are stuck, let me know. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know how you did on the 2-day assignment and allow you to do corrections. If you don't need to do corrections because you did well on it, then it will be a free day for you. All you'll have is your warm-up. So my goal is to let you all know by conference period, this is my conference period, around 10 o'clock, let you know exactly how well, if you need to do corrections or not. If not, you might have a free day tomorrow, which I know. And then on Thursday, we'll work on correcting the tables. So remember, you have a journal test on Friday, so be sure your journal is up to date. You'll have a blessed day.